Hi, everyone. Welcome to Teachers Timeout, your go-to space for real educational issues. If you are a parent, a teacher, or a school owner, you're in the right space. I am Ivy Agogovia, and it's Ivy Agogovia on all social media platforms. With me here on set, I have three amazing teachers. I'll start by introducing the lady amongst us. Welcome to set, Miss Choma.
Thank you.
Please tell us about yourself.
Okay, my name is Chioma Wogu. I'm an educator, and my name is Chioma Wogu in all my social media platforms. Thank you.
Welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank
All right, the man sitting beside me. Let's mix you.
Okay, Achimugu Daniel Akoji. Achimugu Daniel on all social media handles. Thank you.
We're glad to have you here.
Thank you, ma.
The man with the microphone voice. Let's
All
mix you.
right. I am Nishak Inyeduba, the prof on all social media platform. Thank you.
Welcome to say Mr. Meshach.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, so I'm thrilled, excited, and what's the other adjective I had to use to have three of you here with me to discuss this topic. The big question is, who is a struggling kid or who is a struggling child? I think some parents have this misconception. Some of them feel that some people feel that when you use that term, the child is being labeled. But I don't think that's the case. So who is really a struggling child? As educators, who do we say is a struggling child? Mr. Meshach, let's hear from you.
Wow. Okay, I'll just come from this angle. Number one is good you call a spade. A spade what it is. If someone is doing well, you appreciate the person. If the person is not doing well in a particular area, you come straight and tell the person or let the person know. So to keep the record straight, when we say struggling child, for me, I just feel it's not even an appropriate term to
So,
use. Yeah,
okay,
because
why?
it's like we are venerating a negative connotation on that particular individual child. As it
Really?
were. Yeah. So for me, I'll prefer, okay, if someone is struggling, we can just, as a teacher, I'll just say, oh, this child is a slow learner. So it will now inform me on how to manage such a situation. So be it as it were, whether struggling or a slow learner. So I, as a teacher, I need to know that my job is to work on such child and bring such child to a good pace, right? If he
Okay.
or she can be on the same template with others in the classroom.
All right. But from my end, I don't know. We're having a discussion, right? A struggling child is supposed to be a child that has struggles or difficulty in one area or the other. So most times as teachers, we tend to think that it has to be with academics alone. But from my experience as a teacher and also through my research, I found out that it is not just about the child might be struggling in academics, emotionally, it could even be social interactions. Am I correct, Mr. Mark?
Yes. When we talk about a struggling learner or a struggling child, is a child that is not able to meet up with his classmates in the class at a particular grade level. The child is not there. For example, in that particular age grade, they're supposed to write 1 to 100,
Yeah.
and this child is still trying to get to 20. So that child is struggling academically. So we have different areas and aspects where children actually struggle. So, Mr. Meshach, I think the word struggling is not bad. It just not you. It's just that you as a teacher, you don't tell a child you are struggling,
Exactly.
but you know that a child in your class is struggling in different aspects
Yeah.
because the child is not able to meet up with that level in that particular grade level. So I think that's the meaning of a struggling child.
Yeah.
And a child can actually struggle in different aspects. It can be academics, like you said, emotional. It can be with social
Yeah.
interactions with others.
So I also think that teachers or educators should also understand that. I think even as teachers, we are both struggling in one area or the other. So I think it's just to maybe enlighten parents and some teachers should understand too. Because even while I was teaching, I knew some areas in my life that I was struggling with. So when you're saying, just like you said, when you're saying the child is struggling, I don't think it's a negative
No,
term.
it's not.
They just need to be enlightened so they understand That's
Just like saying the child needs more help
more
in
help
that
in a particular area.
Yeah.
So how do we identify struggling children? What are the signs that we want teachers? Some teachers don't know, they don't really understand that. So that, but there are lots of signs. How do we identify struggling children? What are the signs that we'll see that will make us understand that, oh, this child might be struggling in this area or the other, like all around, academics, emotionally, all around.
Okay, thank you very much. There are times you have students who draw back from a subject due to previous experiences they've had with it. I take a very challenging subject, mathematics. So I could say that most times I'm used to this struggling child syndrome in my
You have lots of
yes,
them.
I have lots of them. I only mostly have 25 to 30% most times following me in class. So I'm always facing this challenge each time I meet a new set of students to teach. Some are drawn back from the subject because they've told them there's this student I had even from home. The dad said this boy has never ever passed maths. If he's maths, forget about it. So the conclusions and
What do you
yes, the parents have concluded. So that child now is growing up with that mindset that once it's maths, I can never pass maths. There's a parent who I met recently who was complaining of the daughter, and I said, no, she's doing well. The woman now told me that if it's her daughter or if it's maths, me, I'm just trying to defend the girl. She doesn't know maths. So one of the challenges we have mostly is the child being drawn back from these conclusions that people have made. Then secondly, the foundations that they have.
Okay,
The
so
first
foundations can
impression
affect.
they have about the subject based on who first taught them that subject. That is why the early years classes are very important in any educational institution. The way you receive students into, or pupils rather, into the educational sector determines what we will have going upward. There are some children that, no doubt, no matter how you receive them, it's inbuilt. Yes, they have this defense mechanism that nothing affects them. There's this intrinsic motivation within that they want to learn, and they will do everything
To learn.
they can. Now, for struggling, there's this boy that I've been having challenge in my subject. But if you see him play violin, that's one of the most difficult musical instrument I know of, if you have idea of music.
Yeah.
But the guy is a pro with violin,
Violin.
and he says maths is difficult. And I say no, it's the conclusion the mom has made before. He confirmed it. He said yes. Then also maybe the foundation. The foundation.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much.
So from what he said, I picked the part where he said what they hear. So I think parents need to know, and even teachers, that the things you tell the children can also make them struggle. It can either mark them or make them, right? I don't know if I'm correct.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. You also said that this particular child was good in violin, but he was lagging behind when it comes to mathematics. So they also need to know that even if a teacher tells you, or head teacher or school owner tells you that, okay, your son is struggling in this area, you should also understand that he has a strength, that every struggling child has their own strength. So how do we manage this such that um, their image or their self-esteem is not low? Because sometimes I think it has happened over time. I've seen it. Like, I think it's happened to some of us. Like, you keep telling you're not good in maths, and nobody's praising you for the things you are good at. So how do we manage this as educators and as parents to help these children, even as they're struggling, so they don't lose their self-esteem and they continue to do well in life?
Okay. Before that question, I would like to also, you asked the first time how to identify a struggling child.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of ways you know that a child is struggling, because when you teach, the child is not able to meet up with that particular thing. And
Yes.
sometimes they are withdrawn. They are always by themselves. They are shy. and they can be disruptive because they want attention.
Yes.
So they can be disruptive. They can just
So
distract your class
tantrums.
for no reason. And some of them too, because they are not good in a particular area, they intend to withdraw. They are just on their own. So those are the signs that this child is struggling. And sometimes they don't meet up with the academics. When you teach a particular thing, they don't copy their notes, they don't do homework. So these are the signs that that a child is struggling.
Yes.
So for parents or for teachers to help struggling children, you don't help them by punishing them. It's just ways of encouragement, because for me, there's no child that is dull. A child might not even do well now, but sometimes you just hear that story in secondary school.
Yes.
They picked up in university, they are the best in the class. So there's no dull child. You talked about math. A lot of people have issues. A lot of children, even adults, have issues, challenges with math.
Sorry to cut you, but is this thing? I wanted to mention that I think it's better now than in our time, because like when I was doing math in school, nobody told me that multiplication was repeated addition, or that division was repeated subtraction. So I think it's better now because
Maybe depend on the kind of school you went.
The approach the teacher came from. I think we're definitely going to get to that point.
Yes, honestly.
okay, but I think it's better now. I don't know. You agree with me, right? Is it not better? Like, let's compare the rate at which people struggle in math now.
It's better now because of the kind of teachers that we have now.
Okay. What about technology?
Those days, you can't see a teacher like me taking maths. Yes.
What do you mean, like you?
That will even smile.
That was smart.
Funny enough, I had a very good math teacher in secondary school.
I see.
Yes, I had a very good math teacher.
That will even smile.
But Mishima, it's true. Most math teachers, they don't smile.
Most
They're always frowning.
math teachers like smart people. So once 2, 3 smart students in class are getting it, they will just flow with those ones and forget.
And it's wrong.
They say,
Very wrong.
This one don't know it. Forget that one.
It's wrong.
So they have all of those things. Another thing I want to talk about is communication with which we teach. There are times, I won't lie, I know it's not professional, but it works for me. There are times I have to speak pidgin to my students, especially those in exam classes, SS3. So it will look as if I am coming down to their level. When we are using this English, this English is not our language. Because even if you want to travel to UK, you have to write a proficiency test for it, showing that it's not really your language, it's a borrowed language.
Okay.
So, yes, if you want to go to any European country, you learn their language. You study in their language. You do a preparatory course. So this pidgin that is our own. There are times when I start saying, using pidgin to say, if you add this to this, see what you come. The children will now want to accept it. Yes, at times. So sorry, I don't know if.
But I think you have to look at the kind of children you're
Exactly.
teaching.
I was about to say
Because
that.
there are some that you use it for and you're like, what the heck
What are you saying? They don't even understand the
Don't
pidgin
understand.
English.
Yes, I get what you are trying to say too.
Yeah.
But it depends on your
The setting.
the setting,
and the
Yes,
environment.
the
setting.
environment.
The
But big shout out to math teachers. They are doing very well.
No,
But they can actually do better by making math fun.
Fun, yeah.
It's not by coming and be frowning your face that children will learn, because already the pronunciation of that word math
yeah.
already, so make it fun. They can dance, they can sing while you are teaching that.
Yes.
Apart from the pidgin English, that one works too, because
Yes.
some of them you are going down to their level, but they should also make
There are
it
also
lively.
there are visuals like
And when you are teaching and you see that a child is just, or maybe two children, just stop and have a game in the class. Then they just jump around for just few seconds and you continue. It's not the way we learnt maths, as if, but we are doing well as teachers anyway.
all right.
I also wanted to add also the mindset of the teacher is also very, very
Yes, that's true.
your mindset. If you have struggling, you've identified the struggling child in your class, your mindset is just like it's going to be the game changer.
Yes.
Most teachers, when this is struggling with our student in class,
They just
they'll make
give
it
up.
10. So you must
Forgetting
understand.
that you even struggled at one point in your life.
Yeah.
So you must also know that for a struggling child, there's an opportunity, there's a space for that child to pick up
Yes.
if you
Shine.
do what you if you can improve on what you're doing and
Yes.
take it's personal
And don't give up.
and don't give up
So,
on the child.
That's true. So I want us to share. Have you had any experience, any time in because of your teaching where you needed to to change your teaching style because of the struggling kids in your class? Sometimes you are teaching, but you are thinking of how do I get across to everybody in the class. Have you had any point in time like that, Mr. Mike? Like you needed to change your teaching style, like let me try this method because of struggles in this area.
Yeah. It has to also do with math.
Okay.
When you have a class setting, as a teacher, you have three categories of children: the high flyers, average, and those struggling. So you already know, okay, you know how to meet different needs. So there's this boy I was teaching, was it multiplication?
Okay.
And before you do multiplication, you have to teach them how to cram the multiplication tape. But he was having issues with cramming it. So maybe in the morning we just have like a math drill. You dance and be singing the multiplication tape. And he too would just be looking, he was lost. So I was like, okay, everybody cannot cram.
Yeah,
So I
that's
told
true.
him you can do
Number
counting.
one, me.
Yes. So you can do repeated addition. It will take you time, but the basic thing is you knowing how to multiply. So when I discovered that after some time, I had to call him one-on-one.
Okay.
So that's another important
Yeah,
aspect
that's true.
too.
Yes.
So I called him and I asked him, why is it that you are not, say he can't remember. In fact, I felt bad that that's okay. Let's do it like this. Repeated addition, you can add. He said yes. So that was what he did. And during the exam and test, multiplication, he got them right. It will take time.
Yeah.
But that's when you have it in your head, it goes very fast.
Very fast.
But he has to count and it's okay. The
Yes,
basic
it's
important
okay.
thing that he knows what to do. He knows how to do his multiplication. I think that was one of the experiences I had teaching.
Amazing. Mr. Meshach.
Yeah, a lot. I'm coming from the science field.
I wanted to say let's talk about science.
Is something else because also just the way mathematics and science they go hand in hand somehow. They are all part of science. So like Mr. Chama and earlier said, sometimes you have to innovate a lot of things and you're teaching them the planets and they were like, what are you talking about, abstract? And
That's where we learn chemistry. Very abstract thing.
everything abstract, so they don't even know. Some of the good thing about 21st century science, because these kids, some of them are exposed.
Exactly.
They are exposed. Even sometimes what we even teach them now, some of us we learned it when we were at the university.
Correct.
At today, 21st century science, what you are teaching a year two or farming quote a year two or grade two is already what you did at the university. So, but still as the position is, but you still need to find a way to communicate this information to them to a simpler form that they can absorb easily so that the message can be
Clear.
very clear. So you do a lot. You dance, sometimes you do like a one-on-one, because the truth is that we teach them concept by concept. Yeah, so we don't just give them, especially in science, we teach them concept by concept. So it never teach in the book. If you do that, it's not going to work. You just have few of them grabbing what you're saying. So concept by concept, it has always worked for us. So you break down your topics from soft topic and all of those things, everything you're using. And if you need to dance, please dance. Yes, because
if you don't know how to dance,
if you can sing,
if you can clap.
but whatever you can do. So we've seen all of these and it's really working and helping.
Okay, so from what we are saying now, I think every teacher has to be flexible. You have to come to that point where you train yourself to be flexible, to adapt to different style and meet the needs of different learners. Am I correct?
Yes.
All right, so I want to ask, can we say that technology has helped us in dealing with struggling kids, or has it done more harm than good, or is it helping us as educators?
I can say that the technology it depends on how you use it, but it's an advantage.
Okay.
With the invention of artificial intelligence in the educational sector now, we have been able to break down, make solutions to problems easy to find. During our time, we were limited to only textbooks. And there are some things you can see in this book you won't see in the other
book. That's
and
true.
those textbooks are very bulky. You can't carry, let's say for instance, biology now. You can't carry essential, comprehensive, modern biology because there are times you will see some here, you won't see them. But the invention of artificial intelligence has brought learning closer. You can, as if you have a teacher you can communicate with. I don't know if you've heard of AI Teach. There's an app, yes.
Okay, AI teach.
Yes,
Okay.
that you can communicate with our Meta AI, our ChatGPT. There's an app also for plotting graphs.
Oh, really?
GeoGebra,
Yeah.
graphical calculator, all of those things. Just impute the table of values and then you get your graphs. Very easy. So I use that as a guide when I'm doing any aspect of maths that has to do with graphs. Aside technology, also grouping. Miss Choma talked about grouping these children.
Okay.
Grouping is very important. What I do is that I group them such that in every group there's a high flyer in the group.
Yeah.
Oh,
That high flyer makes my work easy.
easier.
The high flyer is like my assistant teacher. Yes. What I do in my final year classes in the secondary before their SSC exams, I need to make sure that everybody passes maths, and that's a very difficult task. Even if it's one child that is lagging behind, I will find a way to pair you with the best, and I'll make sure that person carries you along. I just discovered that the major challenge with some of these struggling children is confidence. They've lost their confidence from trying to do it and seeing that they have failed. And yes,
that's the
it
point.
is a self-esteem and confidence. It's like understanding emotional intelligence to work with some of these kids, because the major challenge, you said remembering. I think you talked about
Yes, remember
remembering.
what
Yeah.
has been taught.
It's a,
That's
it's a
struggle.
serious challenge.
Yeah.
They have challenge with having volatile memories. It can easily escape their memory. But I tell my students that repetition is the mother of retention. Yes. So no matter how
Say
volatile,
that again.
repetition is the mother of retention. So no matter how volatile your memory is, if you repeat something over and over
practicing.
again, you are your routines. You grow up to what you spend time,
Yeah,
and
that's
your
true.
body adjusts to what you spend time.
I'm
That's
doing.
why every child knows ABCD, the letters of the alphabet from not because it's easy.
Yeah, it's
Bring
true.
somebody from Spain, you will teach that child ABCD for a long time to Z. It will take almost 6 months before that child will get. I'm learning a foreign language now, Russian language.
You want to go to
And
Russia?
I can't. I'm finding it difficult to get the letters of the alphabet
In
perfectly since April. For over 3 months, I've been struggling with them.
As I said, even
that.
as teachers, we have one or two areas that we struggle with.
Yes,
So they need to understand. You just talked about confidence. So we need to understand that it's okay to struggle sometimes, but better you don't give up. And like you said, you keep practicing until you get there.
Yes.
Okay, technology is good. It has really helped the educational sector. But for struggling children, a child that doesn't know how to read would not know how to navigate when it comes to using technology for learning. So a struggling child also needs one-on-one. So that teacher or that educator needs to use
Use
technology
technology.
to teach the struggling child, because the struggling child, maybe those struggling in academics specifically,
Yes.
need someone to guide them. Like you said, you have to pair them. And sometimes this pairing is good, but I discovered that most times when you pair high flyer to a struggling child, and maybe that child is struggling academically, but socially and also struggling socially, and when they are teaching, he's distracting
The
him,
other.
and you see the other one going down. So you as a teacher, you have to watch it.
Yes, yes.
When you notice that kind of thing, you swap,
Immediately.
because sometimes it boomerang or something
Yes,
back to the
true.
other child that is supposed to be doing well, and you see that child dropping. So technology is good. This has really helped the education, everything in total. But a struggling child still needs one-on-one, or help from the parent or from the teacher.
Okay. Okay, so we've been talking basically about academics, right? So let's talk about helping a child that is struggling emotionally. I think we have a lot of that. I will talk about myself. Like I had that a lot while I was growing up. Like so there were times where okay, I used to sing. I was in the choir. Sometimes my mom would say, why why were you like that? You were singing so well. Why are you always like that? Why are you scared? Or why were you shy? So I struggled a lot with, as it has to do with emotions and social interaction. But when it came to academics, I was good. But I don't like that. So most times I'm looking at my kids and like, I don't want them to have that kind of struggle I had. So most times with parents tend to, and some teachers too, maybe unknowingly or knowingly, they tend to just divert. We're looking at academics, so we're forgetting the emotional part, the social interaction part. So how do we tackle this? What do we wish parents knew better, and fellow educators like us, and as well as school owners?
Okay, for me, I can start by saying training is very important. Every teacher needs to be trained.
Trained.
Very, very important in that area, because let's say you have like 15 to 18 pupils in your classroom. They can't be coming from the same
Family, yeah.
the same home and all of those things. So I am a lot of things that happened in the past. Like one I could remember, this child, just because he saw that there was a problem in the house in the morning, and when and he came to the class, everything for that day was just off. So it wasn't the first day. I overlooked maybe mood swings.
Swing,
The
yeah.
next day I was like, no, this is not normal. So I had to draw the child to start asking some necessary questions. And children they would somehow innocently open
Open
up
up.
to you. So I got to know, okay, I said, okay, we've identified the problem, so it can be solved. And secondly, it says parents also need to be very careful, because sometimes I've seen a child might not learn effectively properly, and no matter how the teacher try hard in the class, just because during lunchtime the child feels that what is in the lunch box, what was packed for he or she,
Okay.
it does not match with what he or she sees the
Like,
friend
okay, oh yeah.
coming to school with. So all of these things they need to be put into consideration. So from the family units to the school, and most especially the teachers, they need to be trained to know how to handle children when it's
Children.
outside academic work, to make sure that they are emotionally stable to learn. Else the efforts might not be same.
Yeah, because she cannot be academically strong, and because they need a balance, right?
Need a
She need a balance. Okay.
For me, is communication.
Okay.
I know parents are trying; they are doing their best, but they should try and separate whatever happens with them
Yeah.
with the children, because sometimes they don't really, parents are just about themselves. They don't. I'm not saying they don't care, but sometimes maybe the heat of an argument or something, you
Yeah.
don't even care if your children are looking at you.
Maybe they're so overwhelmed with life.
Yes, so I know it's not easy, but sometimes when certain things like that happen, you call your child and you explain this thing happened because this. Don't think that, are you okay? Just talk to the child,
Yeah.
because it really affects them. I had a boy in my class way back. He's so distracted, he's everywhere. We keep calling his name. One day I just called him. I said, what is the issue? Where's your, I just asked, I don't know how I asked, where's your dad? He said, my daddy does not live with us. We see daddy once in a while. I said, why? Because my mommy said my daddy is a useless daddy.
Are you serious?
Mommy tells me that every day. You are telling a man, that's the boy, that the father is useless. So you are messing up with his mind. And he comes to school. Other children talk about daddy, and he doesn't have anybody, or mommy said my daddy is useless.
Useless.
So there's no way he can concentrate. So like teachers are local parents. Is that what we are called? We are parents. So as a parent, you have to be, like he said, training. You have to develop yourself to be able to notice certain things that happen in your class. You see a child that usually very lively, and all of a sudden the child is withdrawn. You call the child, talk to the child, let them be able to open up to you. Parents are very busy these days. I don't blame them. They're trying. The economy is not smiling.
not smiling
But at the
at
same time, I think parents should try to have a balance, because it's really affecting children emotionally. So as a teacher, when you discover such, just talk. It's communication, and try to celebrate the child, because sometimes we always look for results. No, celebrate the process. Oh, you are trying, you are working hard.
Yeah.
Some of them will come and they don't want to write exam. How do you do that? I had one child then. So I have a sticker chart, a sticker booklet. I'll just pull out one and give to him. Once you finish your work, take 5 stickers. You see him. As you just hold it, it's yours. So we should try to look for ways, because every child needs to be motivated. So you need to discover what motivates that child. Maybe by pairing, by praising. Some of them just praise them a little. But sometimes with teachers, we just get so frustrated. I know so many children. But if you're able to discern what each one needs, I think it will be easier. It will be better.
Yeah, valid point. All right, this is why we call it a wrap. I hope we've been able to pass out a very important message with this episode. If you are seeing this, we'd like you to like, share, and comment. See you in our next episode. Thank you.